Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Let's take a quick look around my UK tropical garden in May. Let's get straight into the video. Well, this May has been an ideal mix of conditions for a tropical style garden. It's been fairly sunny and hot, and the torrential rain has continued, so the growth has been explosive in the last month or so. In many ways the most exciting time of year, when things are really taking off just before the peak of maybe July, say. So we'll go through each bed and take a look at how things are going and compare. I've looked at photos from this time last year and things are way bigger. I don't know whether that's just because the plants are more mature or the growing season's been longer. The last frost was pretty early, so things have had a chance to grow. But just looking at the bananas now, I mean that this tallest banana stem here is it's got to be 7 or 8 foot, I'd say, of leaf there. I mean, they're obviously shredded because it is a windy, exposed position fairly, but putting on huge growth. I wonder if this middle one will flower this year. It's been about, well, I planted those in as plug plants in April, May 2020, so it's been exactly 4 years from plug plants, and I've got a few offcuts, pups that I've dug out as well. If you look round here, I've taken off. These were the 2 original pseudo stems, and then that's a pup, and then I've taken a few from this area, this side, which was growing into the decking. I've got my euphorbia, what's it called? Euphorbia shillingi, Persicaria red dragon, Sonchus canariensis in a pot there. Please do advise me. I've got a couple of Sonchus parmensis and Sonchus canariensis. Should I put them in the ground or not? I mean, are they going to get to flower if I put them in the ground this year? Do let me know. Lupins are always one of the first flowers in the garden. Slugs and snails love them, but I kind of like, I think this is a good alternative if you haven't got like, I don't know, it's got a nice palmate leaf. Kind of reminds me of Begonia luxurians in some ways. And then I've got loads of Rebecca down there, and you'll see Verbena all the way through the garden. These are my giant scabious here. They'll be flowering in June, and then cut them back and she'll get a second flush of flowers. And then if I zoom in on the passion flower there, I've got a few flowers coming already, and it's definitely taken off. I've kind of extended the wire to go along. Excuse the mess of the decking, but yeah, I'm going to train the passion flower along there. Now, looking at the 2 middle beds here, you can see the Trachycarpus is in flower. Bees are loving that one. I think they're male flowers, but do let me know. I'm not a Trachy expert, but the Miscanthus giganteus is taking off there. Got a few self-seeded foxgloves down there. Tetrapanax, I've got 2 Tetrapanax plants in there that are doing really well. Achillea, first couple of flowers starting, and then I've got this fig around here. I don't know what type of fig it is, but the fruit is looking pretty good. There's a few bits of fruit on there. I just find it interesting with the fig. I mean, I love the leaves, don't really grow it for the fruit. I'm not a big fig fan, but it's always interesting how there's no flowers. These fruits seem to appear without a flower. Again, someone wants to explain that to me, I would appreciate it. Moving round, we've got our red hot pokers, Niphophia. Someone said recently they use these as an aloe substitute, and I never really thought of them as an aloe substitute until someone said it. But of course they do look sort of aloe-ish because they are African. These are just covered in slugs on the night, so you can see slugs do. I have killed a lot of the slugs last night, but they do eat the flowers on the way out. But I will be getting the height of these flowers is in June, and after that, if I cut them back, I'm lucky if I get a couple of secondary flowers. But I love these pale yellow ones more than the orangey ones. Jungle Stream, I've had it on a few times, but not at the minute. And then I've got these two big Fatsia here, and you can see the different, like, look, this one's in direct sunlight and it's gone very pale, and then the one that's kind of hidden under the Trachy is looking a much nicer, deeper green. And then moving around, not much to say in this bed. The Euphorbia Wolfenii still flowering. It stays in flower for a while. Smaller Trachy down there, and that's the middle bed. Yeah, onto the what I call the shady border now, because it gets the morning sun and then it's in shade for the rest of the day. So you see, this is where I've got my Miscanthus luteperarius, or whatever it's called, in there. So a couple of I put in a few kind of bits of root and cuttings from Cliffbank Nursery, bed at Cliffbank, and a few of them have taken. Some of them have died, but there's definitely some growth in there. I'm not expecting anything to happen this year, but I think next year we'll have a decent sized plant on our hands. And then moving around, the star of the show for me at the minute is this huge perpendicular flower spike coming out of the Cordyline. Now, I've never been a massive fan of Cordylines. I've always seen them as filler plants. They don't do a lot for me visually. They're fine with the, you know, the palmate leaves, I suppose, the strappy leaves, but yeah, they're just sort of a filler plant. But this has flowered for the first time. The flower spike is probably longer than the trunk of the Cordyline, and it smells amazing. If I zoom in on those tiny little flowers, the bees have been at these all day. But it's got a really strong smell. Kind of reminds me a little bit of wisteria, and I can smell that everywhere in the garden. So I've found a bit of a newfound love for Cordylines, bit of an unsung hero for flowers. Moving around, there's a Gunnera. I've had to kind of prop it back. Bad planning from me, really, with having the path so close to it, but I've sort of propped it up, and the leaves are huge. This is probably the biggest leaf, and I do find that once it's got the biggest leaf, we do get taller stems afterwards, but we don't get quite as big as the early leaves. Hello, Robin there. Hello, Mr. Robin. There he is. People say, I do hear some criticism for jungle gardens or tropical style gardens, that there's nothing for wildlife. You know, very few natives in the garden. But honestly, this garden, there he is, look. This garden is full of wildlife, full of insects, full of birds. Birds love cover, and I find that I'm always seeing all sorts of garden birds enjoying the cover of the foliage to forage and whatever they do. I've had dragonflies, all sorts of pollinators in here. So don't listen to anyone who says that jungle gardens don't benefit wildlife, because they do. Anyway, let's move around the shady border, and this is just a huge, massive foliage now. So we've got the cardoons are coming into flower. The flower spikes have started on the cardoons. This silvery foliage again. Snails love that. The Fatsia, this my tallest Fatsia, has breached the top of the fence now. I love that. And then underneath, I've just got the ferns poking out. I've got Euphorbia mellifera. I've got this Impatian sedenii. Amazing flowers on this. Thanks, Jack, at Yorkgate. Bamboo dotted throughout. Much more trackies. And then more. I mean, look at the size of this. Is more giant scabious. It is the tallest freestanding flower. I think that's what I read somewhere. Doesn't need staking, and it is huge. And then again, I really like these, and so do pollinators. Let's get a little zoom out. I mean, even just the flower heads look cool. Look at those. Then moving round, we've got a bit of a prop area, a few bits and pieces in there. I'll just take you over the jungle bridge over the stream, and then yeah, more giant scabious, a Musa Basjoo that I've put in there. This is Fargesia ruffa, which was coming in like a 2 litre pot, and it's just, I mean, I'm stripping the stems now, but the stems are thickening up nicely. If you look at, that's the thickest sort of stem I'm getting at the minute. And again, it's been in the ground 4 years and it's spreading slowly. And you can see there my sorry looking Paulownia tomentosa foxglove tree. Thankfully it was pretty late compared to other people's foxglove tree. It's starting to grow, but I wonder if it's gonna, I've given it enough room to go because it kind of grew sideways last year, shaded out by this bamboo, so I have tried to give it a bit of space so it can grow vertically. Yeah, and then the wisteria is flowers have obviously finished along the back wall. Well, let's head down to the arid bed and then we'll do the greenhouse. So I have put this Opuntia shearii in the ground there, and then moving around, kind of shade under the shade of the big phormium. You can see along the back there, everything's coming into flower. All of the aloe aristata, whatever it's called now, are sort of coming into flower. You can see this Aloes striatula. It's got its first sort of flower coming. I assume that's a flower. I've had to kind of, it's got top heavy, so I've had to tie that and hold that up. This Opuntia facantha, it's got new growth. New pads coming. A couple of flowers appearing on this Serencia formosa. But everything's, the echiveria's coming into flower as well. Buds on the big Opuntia ficus indica. Interestingly, my washi spear pulled. I didn't realise it at the time, but it has spear pulled in the middle, so we'll see what happens with that one. But again, the long-term plan was always to replace it with a big agave, so we'll see. And into the greenhouse, you can see I've got a few seedlings going there. I've not so many seedlings this year. Amaranthus, Cordylines, Cosmos, and some sunflowers, Pike's Peak. I always do these. But you can see everything else is looking good in the greenhouse. I am trying to replace all of my plastic pots with ceramic. So I mean, I love these. Look at this pot is so nice, and here you can see from TB bonsai pots, a nice little Cactus Clincluranus there. A little pot. So yeah, there we go. I'm sort of trying not to buy plants. I'm buying pots this year and sort of refining the collection, I suppose. Well, there's my little Dudleya white greenie eye in a rock pot that I made. I tried to recreate something that looks a little bit like habitat. So yeah, that's the greenhouse. Anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks to everyone who's already subscribed. If you're not subscribed already, please do consider it if you enjoy this sort of content. Do have a little look at all the other videos on the channel as well. There's plenty on there now. But that's it from me, and then great, the name's Exotic Garden, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.